Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is your boy Decency Graphics here. And then in today's tutorial, we are doing a very simple but yet creative e-flyer for a pastry shop. So without wasting much time, let's dive right into the tutorial. Alright, so we are here in Photoshop. So we'll just go to new file, and then since we are doing an e-flyer for Instagram, I would prefer we go with the correct size. So I already have this in my preset, so that is 1080 by 1350 pixels. I'll keep the resolution at 300 and then hit on create. So let me do this. Yes, so we have the size over here. So what I'm going to do is that for the background, I'm going to go for a gradient background at first, and then I'll go into the cloud cloud folder, and then select this one, and then change the scale to 130, hit on reverse, and then change to radial for the style, and I'll push this to the top a bit and then hit on OK. So what I'm going to do next is that I'll go to my files, and then I'll select this image and then drop it into Photoshop. So what I'm going to do next is that I'll drop this image here, hit on Ctrl G to duplicate, hit on Ctrl T to transform, and then hit on the flip horizontal, and then drag this holding shifts, then zoom in. I want a perfect good. So now I'm going to group this, hit on Ctrl T to bring them here, and then hit on Ctrl A and then press here to center it. So now I'll zoom in, everything is okay. So I'll just come to these files and then hit on soft lights and then bring it to the top. Yes, yeah. Don't worry about this line here because we are going to cover it with a rectangle. So what I'm going to do now is that since we are doing a bakery something and then it should have a feel of brownish color, I'm just going to hit on this place and then go for the hue and saturation and then hit on colorize. So now you can see it's already having a brown color, so I'll just move this slider here, increase the saturation, and then bring down the lightness a bit to like -8 or -7. So now you can tell that we are having more of a brownish color, you understand? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring a rectangle down here. So let's bring it up a bit. So what I'm going to do is that for the flow, I'm going to change it to a gradient. So with the gradient, I already have a preset gradient which I used, which is this one here. So for the lighter color, this is the color code, and then for the darker side, this is the color code. Yes, I'm sorry. So what I'm going to do is I'll change the scale to 190 and then just change the angle to this direction, and then pull this here to have something like this, and then hit on OK. But then I want to have a groove effect in my rectangle, so I'll come to my files and then bring in this old groove paper effect, background, and then just rotate it and then increase the size to this area because I want to have the effect around this area. So I'll just create a clipping mask and then change to multiply, and then with the opacity I'm just going to hit on 35 to have a little grid effect in the background of the rectangle. So now what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to move this down a bit. It's too much to the top. Yes, and then we work on the top. So what I'm going to do is, before I start everything, I'll go to my view, guides, new guide layout, and then I'm going to set this, let me change this to pixels, so 100 pixels for the margins, so all around 100 pixels, and then OK. So now we know that we are working in this area. This is our work area. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to draw another rectangle over here, but then this time this is going to elapse the main borders and then go out. Yes, so for this rectangle, let me bring, it's supposed to be at the top. Good. For the color, I'm going to use this color. Let me see. No. I'm going to use this color, but then I'll use a much lighter one. So let's see. And then bring this here. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, so we're going to have something like this for the color. And then with the borders, I'm going to turn off this one and then increase this to, I have perfection, so like 140. Yes, and then with this side I'm going to go with 60, but then it's not really showing, so I'm going to bring this side here a bit. So let's increase this to 80. So you have this. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to bring in a pattern to fill in the background of this rectangle. So I'm just going to rotate it, and then I change the layer start to multiply and the percentage of 10. But then I would make sure it's a clipping max because I don't want it to overlap. So it's opacity of 10. Then we good. So now let's bring in the details. So since they don't have a logo, I would prefer we go with a font being used as their logo. So I would use let's say Dreams Avenue. Yes, I'll use the Dream Avenue for the first name. So yes, so for the color, I had a color code over here. Let me copy this. Yes, so we are going to use that color for the fonts. Yes. So the fonts supposed to be Dream Avenue. Yes, so we increase the size a bit, then bring this to the top, and then we just make a duplicate, drag it down, and then copy this one that is for the pastries, and then paste it. But then this time we are going to use the font Glitton. Yes, so we drag that to here, then reduce the size a bit. Yes, so I would like to fill this place with an image of a chef. So I'll just come and then bring in this image I downloaded from the internet and then paste it here. But then this image must go down, so it must be something like this. It shouldn't be. So I'll bring this rectangle down a bit. So let's group this so we know this is together. So we would have something like this. Good. So we'll bring this one to, we'll increase the size a bit and take it to the top. Okay, so they have something like a slogan over here. So what I'm going to do is that I'll rather go in for a line, zoom in over this area, and then with the line I'm just going to go for the regular color and then draw this, and then up to this side. But then I'm just going to change the height to about 4. Let's see. even still visible, so let's go for 2.5. And then hit on Ctrl G to make a duplicate, and then bring another one here. So now with the text, I'll just draw, sorry. So I'll paste this here, but then with the font size, let's take 8 for the meantime, and then I'm going to change the font to Monserrat, anyhow you mentioned it, Charlie. So turn up all caps, and then the spacing to -30, and then with the style I'm going to use semi-bold. So let me open up this side. I think yes, so to this. Open up a bit. So all I'm just going to do is to reduce the size. I just screw it down. So I'll go with 7, and then open up the line a bit so it's kind of fitting. Yes. So what we are going to do now is that we are going to bring in the list of items they sell. So I'll bring this here because I'm going to bring in some bullets over here. So let's bring in the items. Yes. So we copy and then we paste them, but then we are going to open up a bit. So we are going for bold for this one. Change the size to 6. Let me close this a bit so I can just increase the size simply. Yes, so to this area, that means I would have to bring this up and then bring this up so that the line spacing or the white space won't be too much. So now I'm supposed to bring in some bulletin over here, so I'll just go to this place, custom shapes, and then to this shape, and then I'll select this. So I would hold shift to have a perfect figure shape, and then with the fill I would go in for this. I would like to pick a color from here and then see. It's too dark. Yes, I will go in for the first color. So let's just increase the position a bit, sorry, the size. Yes, and then the position is supposed to be in line with our guide. So hit on Ctrl G, and then I'll just make a copy of the first two, make another copy of the yes. So this is going to be for the arrows. So bring this here, and then I'll group this one, increase the size a bit. So this is what we have so far. So what I'm going to do next is that with this area, I'm just going to draw 3 boxes. So and then with each box I'm going to add a white stroke, and then with the borders I'm just going to add a curved border. Okay, it's all perfect. So yes, so I'm just going to paste in images of some of their works. So I would come for the first one and then drop it here, bring it down. So if you've watched my previous videos, you know I make use of shortcuts. So I have my own shortcuts for clipping marks. If you haven't watched, kindly watch my last video before this, and then you see how you can add shortcuts. So it's going to make it's going to speed up your graphic design processing and everything. Yeah. So for this I'm just going to flip it to this direction, some Ctrl T, and then for this I'll bring the kick here. Yes, so we're going to have this, and then we're clipping marks that one too. Okay. Okay, so with this down area, it's going to contain their details. So for the details, I would like to put this in a rectangle. So I would bring a rectangle here. With this rectangle, I'm going to I'll turn off this, and then let's make this place 10. It's not that visible, so let's go 25, and then with the flow it's going to be a gradient, and then with this gradient, yes, it's in my files. I would like to use this gradient, and then change the angle to this, and then we have something like this. Yes, so if you want to get a gradient like this, it's pretty simple. The initial colors are these and then these. So for the dark side I use this, and then for the lighter side I use this. So I just duplicate them and then arrange them in such a way. Yeah, so what I'm going to bring here is the call of WhatsApp. Okay, so I'll change this extra bold, and then okay, let me bring it to 6.5. Yes, and then okay, you paste it here. change the color to white, and then also change this one to like 5. So sorry, I change this to 5, and then okay. So we bring this here. We good. So now it's left with the location and their email. So for that, I'm going to bring a line, but then I would like to draw a guide over here to help me with the arrangements. So with the line, I'll change the line color to white, and then the height to about 3 because I want a very thin line. So let's just go for 2. Sorry, the opacity to change. Yes, so and then bring another one here. It's on the line, so make sure it's on the line. So with the location, what I'm going to do is that I'll draw a rectangle, a white rectangle to be precise, and then copy this, and then I would introduce a new font to the design. That's going to be my last font, yes, which is going to be big noodles. Yeah, big noodle. Yeah, so I'm going to use this color, so it's going to be visible on the white. Sorry. Okay, now with the email, copy email, and then so we have it here. So if I do Control G, drag this down, then paste it, but then I'll go with the regular font I use, which is a Montserrat, and then change this to bold, the color to white, and then I'll turn off all caps. So since it's an email, I want the audience to understand that they might have capitals and smaller letters included, so it's best you use this one, which is not all caps, so they'll get to understand. And then also let's make this one bold. Yes, so we are going to bring this to the top a bit. Good. Yes, and then let's make sure this one is in line. So good. So good. So we are done. We are good to go. So sometimes you would like to add some PNGs to beautify your design. It's not bad, but then sometimes you can just leave it like that. So I'll just add this last image. So I'll just flip it like this, and then scale the size to make it very small, and then put it here. But then I don't want to be visible like this, so I'll go to filter, blur, motion blur, and then it has a touch of motion blur around it. Just drag this here and then have something like this, and then we are good to go. Yes, so it was your boy Decency Graphics here, taking you through the process of creating a simple but yet looking flyer for a pastry shop. If you like tutorials like this, kindly hit on the subscribe button and turn on the post notification so that whenever I drop a new tutorial, you are going to be notified. Thank you, and I'm out.